Right, so we're Iristick. And yeah, these are some slides we prepared. It might be too much, too little. I haven't attended a roundtable before, but if you have any questions or something doesn't make sense, feel free to interrupt. What our mission is to design, build, and commercialize a smart eyewear solution and enable hands-free execution of common business processes. So we've really taken the standpoint from taking it from industry and creating a glass specifically for industry. We've also really used the mobile phone in this case, and here's a picture here. So we really leverage the existing mobile device and connect our smart glasses to that. So what our solution is it's connecting deskless workers. So we're really focused on the smart factory and also for the remote assistance in the smart. Is someone asking a question? I keep getting an echo. Hello?
I don't think anyone's asking a question. I think everyone's on mute as well.
Okay. All right. So we're also coping with an aging workforce and a drain of knowledge. And we noticed that on the market, there's a lot of smart glasses out there. They're all different and have different advantages and disadvantages, but they were not really designed for enterprise. So that's something that we wanted to focus on. So our solution leverages the existing smartphone, so we connect with any Android smartphone, Android 7 or above. We're light, comfortable, and safe because all the processing is in the smartphone and the pocket unit itself. We're future-proof. We say that because you can adapt the new smartphones, so you can buy a new smartphone three years later. We know that smartphones change very quickly on the market, and then you could have the processing power on that smartphone and device. What we also offer, and I'll talk about that further, is exceptional zoom for barcode scanning. So we have a zoom module on our premium product, and that allows you to do a 5x optical zoom, which is great also for barcode scanning. So you guys probably know about this. VR, virtual reality, which is very much, yeah, you're not in the real world. Augmented reality, where you're kind of modifying the real world. But we see ourselves very much in IR, which is informed reality. I know it's also referred to as assisted or mixed reality. And that's where you're still in the real world, but you're using these glasses on the floor, up on the shop floor, helping you do your day-to-day job. Some of the use cases, and unfortunately, I can't go into details of the companies we're working with at this time, but we're working with a lot of companies that are interested in transportation. That's logistics, procedures, barcode scanning, process improvements, and error reduction. Another use case we see a lot of is remote assistance. That's kind of the hands-free guidance when you're in the field, or the need to have an expert eye somewhere looking at what you're doing or guiding a service or technician who's on the field. And then immediate intervention. So for example, you don't have to fly someone miles away or bring an engineer. You can immediately have somebody who's on site wear these glasses and show what the issue is and perhaps solve it with some guidance. We also see some interest in training. The empowerment of trainees. So if you're learning a new task and you have an expert talking in your ear and guiding you via the heads-up display, step-by-step instructions, and easy access to expert information. Our unique selling proposition is really having a clear-cut focus. So we're focused purely on industry. We don't deal with consumer or anything like gaming, something like that. It's just for industry. And where safety comes first. And we're making certified safety glasses. So this is something that's unusual. These are certified safety glasses. And we also reduce the connectivity and exposure near the temple. So that's because we don't have a processor in the unit. And there's no processor, no battery, so it doesn't heat up as much. It's something that you can wear for 8 hours. Without being uncomfortable or exposing yourself to a lot of connectivity radiation. I'm going to skip through this because I think I'm going out of time. This is some of the competitors that we looked at. I don't have the details of what competitors these were compared to, but what we really focus on is the avoidance of radiation, the use of the mobile phone, and the extension of battery life. So a lot of the glasses on the market, if you're doing video streaming especially, they can't last the 8 hours that you need for an entire shift, and we're able to do that. We also think this reduces the cost of deployment because we're in the same price range, and you can see our prices on the website as the glass and other glasses on the market. But you can use your existing mobile phone and increase the capabilities with your mobile phone. So these are two of our products, our existing portfolio. The Iristick Z1 is our premium product, which we're coming out with first. It retails for $17.50. It's got a 3-pivot adjustable display, and maybe there's another slide that I can show that in more detail. This is an adjustable arm for the display. It allows you to really focus the display over your eye. We have a central camera, which is great for showing the user perspective. And then we have a zoom camera, which I talked about briefly already. This gives you the 5 times optical zoom. And then you also have a laser and a flash LED, which you can use to focus on a certain object and scan it like a barcode. And then we have the optional prescription inserts and lenses. Like I said before, these are safety glasses, so you won't need the additional safety glasses. You can use these. The call to action, what we're really looking for is to increase adoption of AR and IR in industry. With AREA, we really would like to develop more partnerships, and especially we'd like to get more applications developed for our glasses, because we focus purely on the software, but we also offer an SDK where applications can use it to interact with our glasses and really use it as an accessory for the mobile phones. So that's something that you can find online at developer.iristick.com. So if you have any questions or need more information, you can email me directly or call me. And yeah, thanks for listening. And if you have any questions right now, that would be great.
That's great. Thank you very much. That's really interesting. Anybody, any questions? Any questions for Sean?
One question, I may have missed the detail. So are these more indoor or more outdoor optimized glasses?
Well, we have some waterproofness, so if it was raining, you could wear them outdoors. It really, yeah, it's something you could wear them outside for sure. We probably optimize them more though for a warehouse sort of environment. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Especially
but you could walk outside with them as well, if that was your use case. We also have some interest from customers who are like outside, maybe working on machines or something like that, and then they would be wearing it outside as also.
Can I just
Any
ask?
other questions?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Anyone else have a question?
Yeah, I also have a question. This is Joachim. Great product. So how do you interact with the camera zoom? Is that via the mobile phone?
Well, that really depends on the software application.
Right.
So you could interact with it using the touchpad or voice control, or you could interact with it on the mobile phone. Or what's really interesting for some customers is that you have the remote expert who's operating the zoom camera.
Okay, thanks.
So it really depends on the application, and that's the power of software, I guess, where you can really customize this for the customer or improve the usability using software.
Thanks.
Thank you. Any other questions from the attendees? Okay, can I just ask a quick one? I was interested in the kind of SDK and the developer kit and things like that.
Yeah.
Can you perhaps give a little bit more? Is there particular applications you're interested in? Is it applications for enterprises or applications to control the device, or is there something you're looking for particularly in that space?
Well, it's really goes back to our use cases. So, for example, remote assistance, it's kind of a Skype-like sort of companies that we're working with, who are working with our SDK to show the information on the heads-up display and get the information from the cameras. So that's probably the most interesting application that we're seeing right now. I think it's because it's very it's very easy for customers to say, yeah, that'll be useful to me and I want that. So whereas this takes the processes, and what Proceedix is doing takes a little bit more background work, it's very, how do you say, a lot of the companies have the same issue and they really see the value in this. But what we're offering is, oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Do you have a preferred remote assist application or solution? I assume that you would integrate third-party solutions, but out of all the remote assist solutions you have worked with, can you share sort of what has been standing out in a positive way for you?
Well, it's difficult to say that. We don't really have a preferred one. We've talked to different companies and they all have different advantages. Like some work very well in a low bandwidth environment. So for that customer, if they have low bandwidth, like on an oil rig or something like that, then it would be very interesting for, to have that application. Others offer things like annotations and more manipulating the image, getting images. So, but it really depends on the customer. We don't have a preference at Iristick itself. It's more the combination of the two that we need. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah, understood. Thanks.
So it's not like we're saying, no, we just want this one to work on our glasses. We want as many as possible to work on our glasses. But one thing that we see a lot is companies are hesitant to have the recurring cost of a remote assistance sort of application. And so that's somewhere that maybe Area can help with as well. We offer kind of a demo software, an open source software to say, yeah, you can try this out over WebRTC. Of course, it doesn't have the security and all the other features, but that's something that we need to really pinpoint the value for the customers and get them to say, okay, I'm willing to buy these glasses and also pay a monthly fee to have this application running on my glasses. I don't know if you've experienced that also.
Was that a question for me? This is Mark, sorry, or just generally to the members?
Yeah, I know there's some software developers as well. That's something that I hear from customers is like, oh, it's no problem to spend, 2,000 euros on a pair of glasses, but I don't want to have to spend a monthly fee on a license. Okay, and that's where I think we need to help with the business case on that.
Yeah, definitely. That's something. Let's take that up offline, and we can maybe do a questionnaire or something out to the members, and we can talk about some of the conversations I've had. But I think that would be an interesting kind of area to investigate a little bit more and get a bit kind of more market knowledge from. Excellent.